Welcome to Folklore of Golarion. My name is Silvio of Varisia, and it is my pleasure to bring you a collection of myths and fables from cultures all over Golarion. Tonight, we have the cautionary tale of a proud arcanist who reached beyond his grasp and caught the attention of the Bloated Fly. Long ago, in the kingdom of Avestan, there lived a scholar of the arcane named Archileus. Archileus had devoted his life to unraveling the secrets of magic, dark methods that could lend a shambling semblance of life to the deceased, or suck the warmth and will to live from the very hearts of his foes. So powerful had he become that he began to make final preparations for the ultimate feat of necromantic magic, the transition of his mortal form to a half-dead husk, a change that would grant him immortality and power to rule the undead as never before seen. On the night that Archileus began his final preparations, there came a knocking at his outer doors. Outside was a tall, gaunt figure with long and slender ears that belied their elven origins. Half their face was rotted, and maggots tunneled beneath the flesh, occasionally surfacing briefly before burrowing back beneath the rot. "Archileus," spoke the figure, "I am Onal Admoreniel, herald of Urgathoa, the Pallid Princess, and Bloated Fly. My mistress sends her congratulations on your great achievements. You have surpassed many of your ilk. You have yet, however, to pay tribute to my mistress." "To whom do I owe tribute?" asked Archileus. "My spells are bought and paid for, or of my own creation. My innovations I owe to nothing but my own ingenuity. Shall I pay tribute to a distant deity who demands my submission? Those who blur the line between life and death tread the lands of my mistress. You have thus far been negligent, but that time has ended. The Pallid Princess has 3 choices for you. 3 ways to show your worship of the Bloated Fly. 3 nights I will come with a chance to worship, each less palatable to mortals than the last. Tonight, they said through decayed lips, is the first." Stepping backward, Onal Admoreniel gestured grandly, and from the fog of the aisle emerged a banquet, tables and chairs arranged for supper, but upon the table, instead of stews, fruits, pastries, and roasts, as one might expect from such a grand hall, were bloated and decaying corpses, crawling with worms. Scavenging dogs licked at the blood that seeped beneath the table, and vultures descended from the skies, one landing upon the shoulder of the messenger. "Join me for this feast, so graciously prepared by our mistress, and partake of the flesh. This is your first and most enjoyable chance at worship." Archileus gagged before composing himself. "Tell your mistress that if this is the worship she desires, she'd best look elsewhere." And with that, he slammed the door. Through the door, the voice of the messenger echoed. "If you cannot feed with her servants, how do you hope to lead them?" Archileus heaved for a moment, attempting to compose himself before looking out the window. The table and the figure had vanished. The following night, there came a familiar knocking at the door that echoed through the halls of his chambers. Though he tried his best to ignore it, he was compelled to cross through the silent, lonely halls and open the door. There stood Onal Athmoreniel, tall, gaunt, and half-rotting. "Archileus," they spoke, "I hope you have reconsidered our offer. I come with your second chance of worship." The messenger stepped forward, allowing their flowing black robes to fall about their ankles, leaving the decaying corpse bare before the archmage. "Lay with me, partake of my flesh, and let our shared lust bear witness to our worship of the Bloated Fly." Archileus scoffed. "Get thee from my island, fiend! If you cannot bear to love her servants, why would they follow you?" The shadows of the isle enveloped the lithe figure, bearing him away to nothingness. Upon the third night, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Archileus again heard the dreaded knocking upon the door. "Archileus," spoke the figure, "tonight is your last and least palatable chance at worship." Reaching within the decaying robes, they withdrew a jagged dagger and offered it towards Archileus. "Carve your still beating heart from your chest and burn it. Then, and only then, will my mistress grant you penance for your past transgressions." "Tell your mistress if she would have me bow to her, she'd best come and make the request herself," said Archileus. Turning, he made to close the door. The rotting figure raised a hand in the air, muttering ancient and powerful words, and Archileus' body froze on the spot. "So you have made your decision," said the messenger. Archileus' body rose into the air and began to contort into impossible angles, the flesh sloughing off his bones and landing in heaps upon the floor. "You will serve our mistress one way or another," they spoke over the sound of snapping bone and sinew. "And since you will not serve her willingly, let your corpse forever walk these halls, an eternal testament to the arrogance of the arcane." A warning here to the seditious. He climbed the ladder most ambitious, and through the stolen, burning fire earned he did a goddess' ire. Thank you for joining me for the parable of Archileus. If you should like to hear more of the tales passed down through the generations, like this story and share it among your friends. There are many more stories to be told. We've only just cracked the cover of Folklore of Golarion.